Hello everybody, welcome to the Coaching Conversation. I'm Graham Wiley and I've been coaching business leaders for the last 2 decades. In this series we're going to explore some of the things I've seen and learned in that 2 decades and hopefully help you see how you can become more focused, more effective and hopefully happier in your life. So it's now time to sit back, relax and enjoy the Coaching Conversation. Hello everybody. In this edition of the Coaching Conversation, I'm going to reflect on the experiences I've had with leaders and their teams around the challenge of motivating a whole organisation to want to achieve the goals, the targets, the objectives that the leadership team want them to achieve. And typically, we find that this falls into a leader or a leadership team that has a genuine desire to involve and encourage people to be part of this delivery system, or they fall into the category of dictators where this is where it's going to be, get on the bus or get off the bus, but this is the way it's going to be. And frankly, in the latter group, there's not an awful lot of coaching you can do because their minds are made up. They're going to tackle it in that particular fashion. And whatever happens is what happens as a consequence of that. So most of the coaching we do around this is around the kinds of leaders and leadership teams that genuinely see value, genuinely want to enlist the commitment of the whole of their team. And often, indeed, wider than that, other stakeholders, suppliers, customers, and so on. So how do they do that? Well, the short answer is sense of purpose. If a leader and his team or her team can build a very clear picture of what they're trying to create and the why that sits around that, it's a relatively easy thing to describe to other people, and it's a relatively easy thing, therefore, for them to buy into, embrace, and see their role in. This typically does not mean writing a vision statement or a mission statement and sticking it on the wall. Typically, it's something that comes from the heart, something or things that have real meaning. Things that matter to the leader, to the leader's team, and therefore ultimately to the people in the rest of the organisation. This sense of purpose overrides everything, and it very rarely comes with numbers or KPIs or even possibly deadlines. There may be milestones that are established to try to equate whether or not you're on the right track, to equate how far down the journey you are progressing. But in principle, the sense of purpose is an aspiration. It's a North Star. It's not the end of a journey. It's where we want to get to ultimately. Now, these sense of purposes can be many, many, many things. It can be about the product. It can be about the service. It can be about the organisation's place in society. Are they acting as a responsible organisation, whether that's paying people the right kind of wages, whether that's acting sensibly in terms of sustainability? Is it about their place in society in terms of the way in which they tackle some of the world's greater challenges around, say, COP26 and pollution and inequality and. The beauty of a sense of purpose is that it creates an energy, it creates an enthusiasm, an excitement that is purely natural. You don't get that reaction when you say, we're going to double sales, or we're going to have market share dominance. It's just not the same, is it? It may be true, that may be exactly what you do achieve, and it may be ultimately how you fund all the other things that you're going to be doing. But of itself, they are an outcome, not an objective. So what we find in creating a sense of purpose is try to get the leader and the leader's team to just open up about what they care about. Say out loud things that they might have previously been a little nervous about saying out loud. Indeed, be brave in the context of say things that sound absolutely ridiculous. Aspire to the totally nonsensical. Because the energy that comes around following whatever it is you agree is going to be your sense of purpose will enable you to do things you never thought you could do. One of the parallels to this that sort of proves the point, I guess just about everybody knows the difference between being in the zone and not in the zone. When you're in the zone, there is everything you do is ease and flow. Everything you do is very straightforward. You find it easy. And that could be in a sport, that could be in some kind of job that you're doing. Perhaps you're writing a report, and it's just flowing easily. You're making a presentation to an audience, and you're really in the zone, and you're exuding all of the energy that comes from what you're doing. Well, what we're talking about is creating a sense of purpose that gets as many as people in your organisation as you can, as close to being in the zone as you can. And therefore you know that you can achieve more together when that sense of purpose and that being in the zone piece comes together. Now, this isn't flaky. This isn't fairy tale stuff. This is about aspiring to something that matters. Matters enough to want you to care about it. Matters enough for wanting you to actually commit a bit more and for you to share that want as part of the team, whether that's as the leader, the leadership's team, or a member of the wider organisation. And the thing about that kind of success is it breeds success. Everybody knows that once you start to get things right, more things follow. Well, the more sense of purpose you create and the more achievement against that sense of purpose you create, the more energy you're going to... It's like a dynamo. It generates more. So as a coach, when we're helping teams build business plans, we try to get them to start thinking about what they really want to create. Not just where do they want to be in 3 years' time with the sales, with the profits, with the cash. Though that will ultimately be an output. You will want to get to that because in the end you've got to manage resources and make stuff happen. But in a context of where do you want to be? What do you want to create? What excites you? When you look at this at the end of your career and look back and think, oh, I'm really proud of what we did there. Well, what would that be then? And these are the kinds of challenges that also meet younger generation these days. Many of the younger generation coming into the workplace want to feel not only are they on a career path themselves, but they're amongst people who have a sense of purpose. There's a value to what they do. There's an importance to what they do beyond simply their career. And so not only is this a good thing in terms of energizing the organization, it's a good thing in terms of attracting people who are equally going to be energetic and equally committed to the sense of purpose. In a slightly strange way, you're future-proofing what you're trying to achieve. So there you have it. Building a sense of purpose and where it fits into business planning and how a coach can help the leader and the leadership's team try to energize the whole organization using a sense of purpose. See you again soon. So there you have it. the latest edition of the Coaching Conversation. Hope you found it interesting, hope you found it useful. You can find out more about our coaching programs at theexecutivemindset.co.uk. If you want to reach out, you can send me an email at theexecutivemindset@sagegreen.com. You can book a free 30-minute session at theexecutivemindset.co.uk, which will give you a really good feel for how coaching could help you. And if you've really enjoyed the session, do please rate us, do please give us a review. And nothing more for me to say other than see you next time.